We are your vaccine authority here at Eyewitness News, and each and every day we're still committed to getting you answers to some of the questions that you're still asking about coronavirus as well as the COVID vaccine. Joining us live this afternoon is Dr. Rick Martinello, the Medical Director, Infection Protection at Yale New Haven Hospital. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
I'm sure you get a lot of questions yourself, and we're still getting them here in our newsroom right now, even though we have a high vaccination rate here in Connecticut. So let's start with one here from Colleen. She is asking, would you please provide info on vaccine boosters? When will they become available? If you do get a Pfizer vaccine, do you have to get a Pfizer booster, or can you switch maybe to Moderna?
Well, let me be clear that currently there is no recommendation for a booster shot. We are expecting to learn over the next number of months whether a booster shot will be recommended. And as part of that, we're waiting to hear whether or not we'll need to have the same vaccine that we previously received, or if we could potentially mix and match with other vaccines. So we're looking forward to hearing more guidance on this from the CDC and the FDA as the months go on.
I'm sure they're looking into all that. We're doing a lot of testing and things about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually earlier this month, there was a large study in the United Kingdom which was started to look at just this question.
Okay, thank you. Now, Donna has a question. She's from Woolkit. She's asking, what are they doing for people who have severe allergies and were recommended not to get the vaccine?
Well, luckily, there's very few people who have allergies that prevent them from getting vaccinated. But for those people, I think it's important to have a discussion with your physician about whether one of the 3 different vaccines available to us may be okay for you to receive. Sometimes some of our patients, we ask that they actually see an allergist to really get information on whether they could receive a vaccine. You know, really important for everybody who can get vaccinated to get vaccinated. And there's very few people who have allergies that prevent them from getting one of the 3 vaccines.
All right, that's good to know. Just moments ago, we were reporting that Moderna is now seeking their final approval for the vaccine. Matt is asking, how long did they do human trial testing on these vaccines? What is the normal timeline for human trial testing? I know a lot of people have been asking, you know, obviously they rushed this out because they wanted to get it to people as quickly as possible, but perhaps some people are thinking maybe it wasn't handled as effectively or as properly.
Well, with the vaccines that are available for us against COVID right now, things were really done differently, and that's why they were developed so quickly. I think it's important to recognize that, you know, one, there's really been over a decade of research that has been put into place to develop these new vaccines. And so when we got to learn about COVID in January of 2020, we were really well prepared as a scientific and medical community to develop these new vaccines. But the other change that occurred that led to such a rapid development is an enormous investment in developing these vaccines quickly. And one of the ways that they did that was, instead of just to have a few sites perhaps around the United States or in Europe where these vaccines were tested, these vaccines were each tested in many different nations and dozens of different medical centers and other sites. And so they were able to generate a lot of data very quickly and to follow patients who received the vaccine or received a saline shot very carefully over a matter of months. And so while that data was rolled up in a short period of time, they involved so many people in those studies that they were able to generate the data necessary very quickly.
Well, a lot of science went into this for sure. Dr. Rick Martinello, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon from Yale New Haven. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.